Welcome to another episode of the talk show. My name is Jason Takhtadjian, and joining me is a very special guest today. He is the CEO of Hype Fighting, Armand Martirosian. Armand, how are you doing, brat?
Good, brother. What about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for responding to the DM in the middle of the night for me. I appreciate you responding and being willing to be on the show because there's been a lot that's gone on in the past, I want to say, let's say, past couple weeks that I want to talk about and dive into. But, this is our first time really meeting each other. And I wanted to first ask you just about your background, where are you from originally, kind of where you grew up, and how you got into the world of combat sports.
I'm from Russia. I was born in Russia. I'm living there. And a few years ago, my older brother created a app for the App Store. It called Avatarify.
Mhm.
It was, I think, the first app with AI that changed your face. You could take a photo of the people and they will sing a song
Okay.
which you want. And I was the head of marketing there. And I saw one project on YouTube. It was hype fighting, and I came to my brother and I said that I think that I see the future in this project. It was like fights in garage
Yeah.
and like YouTube fights. And I said to him that we need to buy it. I see the future in this project. And I started to work on it. And it took 3 or 4 years for me to grow this project like this.
Hmm.
And there were a lot of difficulties. We thought that we need to go international. And we started to think about making events in Armenia. We made events in Thailand. And after it, we started to think about Armenia. And
Hmm.
I'm a friend of Armand Sarukian. And I thought that we need to make main event with Armand.
Hmm.
And I talked with the stake, our general sponsor, and I
Yes.
said to them, let's try to work with each other. I have a great idea. I think that it would be sold out in Armenia, 8,000 people stadium. And we started to find the opponent for Arman. And I talked with every UFC fighter in lightweight division, upper, lower, everyone. And I wanted to make Arman versus Tom Hardy. You know, I talked with him. I just DM'd him and he answered me. He said that that Armand will kill poor old man Tom. I'm just actor, but the money that you're offering me is much more than any BJJ fight ever, and probably I cannot do it because I have filmings from now until March, and we started to find some other opponent, and we talked with the Shara. He said, "Okay, I can do it if it will be 6 minutes, only submission. I can do it." And it was 84 kilos. So if you know Armand's fight weight is 70 kilos. And I talked with Armand. He said, "Okay, no worries. I will wrestle with him."
Oh, wow. I want to unpack that. I want to talk about that because that was one of the big things I really wanted to talk to you and get into. And you just jumped right into it about the idea to DM Tom Hardy. I think he has a combat sports background. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but tell me about how that idea came about. What brought that idea to you to be like, you know what, I'm going to DM Tom Hardy and see if he wants to fight Arman?
I'm just scrolling the Instagram and I remember that Tom Hardy is a BJJ fan. He has a purple belt and he is my favorite actor. Like Bane and Armand's vibe, like he is Batman. I thought Bane versus Batman, it would be great. And just I DM a lot of people every time. From my young age, I DM every superstar
Hmm.
and offering him any other opportunities. And
Right.
Tom answered me, and he answered me after he deleted his message. And I thought maybe I made a screenshot. That's why he saw it. He deleted it. And after it, I raised the price, the
Ah,
money. He answered me one more time. He said, "I really appreciate that, but Armand will kill who Tom Hardy. You know, I'm just an
Yeah,
actor.
you can't disclose what the amount was, right?
I cannot say
You
that,
can't
but
say it. That's understandable.
it's much bigger than most of the UFC fighters get in the UFC. You know, even in this event, um, I think Shara Bullet got more money than he earned in the UFC. You know, UFC fight.
Wow, considering
Every
everything.
week from starting selling tickets, every week I raised the prices on tickets, and it was sold out. You know,
Wow.
so
So
every
you
week I
proved
rise on 30%
you
every week.
proved that Armenia can host a major, not just a major sporting event, but a major combat sports event, because there has been a lot of talk about, maybe one day Armenia can host a UFC event. And I've asked Dana White about that, and he's told me at UFC, what was it, 311, that yes, we want to come to Armenia one day. But you guys, I think, for the first time, really put together a show in Armenia that proved that you can hold combat sports and you can hold other major professional sports in Armenia.
You know, there were 8,000 seats, but there were, I think, around 10,000. Some of people crushed some door and they come inside, and we cannot do anything because the fight's already started. That's why near the stage, a lot of people are standing. There were no free seats on the stadium. They just stand
Wow.
right near
That's
the
crazy.
stage. Yeah.
I mean, that makes for a really awesome atmosphere, right? You were in the stadium. Like, what was that feeling like as more and more people were getting in, and it's like, oh, this is becoming more real that this Armenian event is gonna happen with all these guys. Like, what were you feeling as the day was going on, the night was going on?
You know, I didn't see the crowd because I was in the traffic. I was in the car. They were right near the stadium. There were so much cars and the traffic was so high. So I just get out from the car and I run to the stadium. That's why the broadcast starts 1 hour later, you know, because I was running to the stadium right from the car from the
Because of
traffic.
Yerevan traffic. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I've
And
been
when
in
I
Yerevan traffic once. It's not a joke. It is not a joke.
and when I came to the stadium, I was shocked really.
Mm.
You know, I saw so much people there. They were screaming. They want to start the event, and just, I had goosebumps on my body. You know,
Wow. Have you ever felt something like that before?
no, we did reality shows. You know, we used to make reality shows with Hamzat and Arman. You probably saw where
Yes.
Hamzat and Arman are wrestle with each other. It was my
Yes.
reality show, but with so much people, we didn't make some events, you know, and I was really shocked. And now we will try to make stadium events every 2 months in Armenia, Georgia. The
Wow.
stake are also shocked, you know, by the result. I think that it was the record on the Kick platform. At the end of the stream, there were 27 million of views. You know, today the whole day I'm trying to find some near results. I checked Aiden Rose, Drake accounts, you know, but I didn't see some close results to this, and I think it could be record there.
I think so too, and that's a big deal. Just to go and have event streamed and have 27 viewers, like, people tuning in, tuning out, all this type of stuff. When it all is said and done, 27 million, probably a little bit more, in a couple weeks, whenever more of the analytics get put together. That is really impressive. And I really do tip my cap to you because, a lot of people, especially non-Armenians, they're like, oh, a small country like Armenia, they can't, host an event like that. They should go to the US or the places where there's a lot of money. I say, I think you can have a fight anywhere, and you proved it. You proved it with the this most recent hype fighting event.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. I
Appreciate
mean,
that.
just so I wanna dive into just a little bit more about you, if you don't mind. How old are you by any chance?
26.
So you're 26. I'm 27. So I was trying to think. I'm like, I think we're around the same age. I wanted to know,
Yeah.
just like, it might be a difficult question to answer, but how how did you actually get into, the marketing side of things? Did you go to college for that, or was there like an opportunity that kind of presented itself and you took it?
I used to study in a university, but I was kicked out from the university after 1 year, and I started to make some business, like many of Armenians.
Yeah.
I tried to make everything, clothing brands, um, you know, scooter rental
Oh
for
yeah.
you where you are paying for a minute. I
Yes.
made this business. Uh, I had a very popular anime clothing brand. It was also popular in the United States, and I made it in Russia. And when I had some problems in hype fighting, I needed money, a lot of money, because um if some sponsor gave us like like $1 million, we made an events for 1.2 millions,
It
so
always goes
we
above.
spent, yeah, and this gap raised, and I had to sold my clothing brand, had to close it. I have to decide what I want to make more, clothing brand or hype fighting. And I understand that the hype fighting has a future, because in Russia there are a lot of promotions, a lot of fighting leagues, but only hype fighting is famous outside of the Russia.
Right.
I think you also don't know any other promotions.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I maybe on social media you see a clip here or there, but nothing that I can like say the name of like I can when it comes to hype fighting.
Yeah,
I
that's why
think,
we are
yeah,
thinking different. We
absolutely.
are we made the reels fighting. Did you see it? 1 minute fights with
Yeah.
Dan Hooker. Yes, we made it. It was our idea. We
Uh-huh.
made it in Thailand. We bring Dan Hooker, and I said to him, "Don't do you understand that right now you became the most popular fighting promotion in New Zealand and Australia?" He said, "Come with me to Australia. Let's make it there." I think I cannot, and he
Oh.
come back to Australia and he built a promotion like 1 minute scrap.
I see. So that was the influence that you had then.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and
Wow, that's so interesting, man. I mean, you had to sell one of your companies to keep hype fighting going, is what you're telling me. So I'm sure that wasn't the only bit of adversity that you had to go through or challenges where you had a situation where it's like, how am I able to continue this? I'm sure, because at the end of the day, you chose hype fighting because this is what you truly, truly enjoy doing.
And right now, some insights. I don't know, could I say it or not? But we have a conversation with Dustin Poirier, make a grappling match versus Armand in February.
Wow.
He didn't sign the contract yet, but
Okay.
we have a conversation with him, and probably he will be the opponent of Armand. If not, we have also one guy, and the whole MMA community are waiting for his returning. I will not say who is it, but tomorrow I will have a call with him. But
Okay.
everybody waiting for his returning.
This is very exciting. You're mentioning
It will
somebody's
be
going to
it will
return.
be
Let's see
more
who.
popular. It will be more popular than a match Armand versus Shara.
You think it'll be more popular?
Yeah,
Oh wow. Well,
much
hey,
more.
you know what, man? I'm giving you all the best of luck to that phone call, and hopefully we can revisit this video when it gets posted on YouTube or anything to be like, "Yep, this is what you were talking about. This is the amazing fight that you were talking about." I'm sure that this is so much fun for you. Yeah, I know it's a business. I understand that you have to make money and this is a living you have to work on, but I'm sure you are having a lot of fun being able to rub
Yeah.
shoulders with these guys, and the fact that you also know Arman. I'm sure tell me a little bit about that relationship with Arman. How did you guys get to know each other first?
Um, he was the ambassador of one betting company, and
Mhm.
3 or 4 years ago, I just connected with him to connect us with each other, this betting company and us, and it failed, but we started to communicate with each other, and after it, when we wanted to make a reality show, I thought that it would be great if Armand will be the captain.
Hmm.
And I talked with him. He said, "Okay, let's do it." And after it, we talked with Hamzat, and Hamzat also said, "Okay, if Armand there, let's try." And there, in our reality show, they became friends. You know, they didn't know each other before. In
Hmm.
our reality show, they became friends.
Yeah. I mean, I love that relationship that they have. It's like a brotherhood almost. Whenever you see Arman
Yeah.
and Khamzat, the way that Khamzat was celebrating when Arman got the submission over Dan Hooker in Qatar, it's really nice to see, and it's a really refreshing too, especially in combat sports, to see two guys that didn't really know each other, right? I remember watching actually the first time that they were grappling, and initially I'm like, uh-oh, did these guys not like each other? But then it started to get like friendly, and I was like, wow, this is actually really nice that this became a friendship. And now we see that this friendship has lasted for years. So, that now that puts the pieces together for me to know, kind of how you became friends with Arman, how you got to know him because, of the show and how you were able to connect with him. And I think it's really awesome to see it come together.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just love seeing different sort of promotions, but also Armand Sarukian getting more fights. Like I think that's the biggest thing here too, is because we all know like he deserves a title shot for the UFC. But at the same time, he's so good that he should be staying active. And it's guys like you who are helping not just keep him active, but also have the audience and the fans grow more fandom for Armand. And in
I
return,
think
yeah, go for it.
I think if he will shock everybody in this year in hype fighting, probably Dana White will give him fights. You know,
Hey, you know
we will
what?
bring
Hopefully
him.
sooner than later, man. Hopefully that's what I'm
We will
hoping
bring
for.
him popular guys, and if he will choke any opponents, everybody, I think he will go have more media. And right now, UFC doesn't like fighters from Russia, CIAs, because they have not payable audience, you know. And
Mhm.
every fighter now should try to make him them popular in United States, you know, outside of CIS, Russia, because their audience can pay for the pay-per-view and everything.
I
They
see what
can
you're saying.
buy merchandise.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think it really comes down to like I think Armand is becoming a big household name little by little within the United States and in other parts of Europe. And I think he's ready to headline. I think he's ready to get that lightweight title shot already because I think he's proven, even on social media, that he has such a big following. And in the United States, I think his following is only growing more and more. So I do hope to see maybe 2026 Arman getting that title shot finally, even though we have no
I hope
indication
so
of it right
too.
now. Yeah, even though we don't have an indication, it's something like, hey, I believe things can change, things can happen, and who knows? Tomorrow we wake up, Dana White changes his mind. But all I know is I want to go back to what you said initially about the possible Dustin Poirier Armand Tsarukyan grappling match. Tell me about that decision. Like, why Dustin Poirier?
You know, Dustin Poirier had a fight with Islam,
Mhm.
and Islam choked him. And it will be interesting for the audience because depends on this result, people will understand the difference between Islam's and Arman's wrestling, you know,
Mhm.
and probably it will help us to understand the levels. So that's why it's very interesting for me. And after Dustin's career finish, we didn't see him anywhere, you know, and high fighting could be the first place where we can see Dustin Poirier again. So
Gotcha.
that's why I think that it would be great.
I think it would be fantastic. Dustin Poirier is one of the biggest names in the sport, and like you said, he's about to retire, and why not give him like one more shot? And I think that fight with Arman, like, I think there's no reason for him to, not do it, right? There's every reason to go have fun, have a good time, be part of hype fighting. Do you know when hype fighting will return to Armenia?
February 15th.
That's my birthday. That's very
That's
good.
why
I love
that's
it.
why we put the returning on this date.
I love it. I love it. That's so cool. I do want to ask you actually. I'm sorry I didn't get to this a little bit earlier, but I did want to talk about how you got in contact with Shara Magomedov and how you were able to get him to agree to the fight with Armand. And I also know Gore, his trainer, is also Armenian, right?
I used to know Shara before the UFC because he started from YouTube fights in Russia.
Mm.
you know. And when we made our first reality show in Thailand, Shara also was there and he helped us with some stuff there. He was also commentator on our fights. So we used to know each other around 4 years.
Wow, that's really interesting. So you guys do go back. Everybody does go back, and there's still like it's all connected in some way. And that's what I love
Yeah.
about combat sports specifically. You don't really see that in team sports a lot, but when it comes to combat sports, I think you really do see the camaraderie and guys coming together. And honestly, I really do love the Russian fighting community because it does feel like guys are coming together, and at the end of the day, we're trying to help each other out. That's what it feels like.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely, man. I think in closing, because we are getting to the end of the show, I do want to ask you, since we just started the new year, what are some of your big goals for 2026? And, where do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing when you're 30?
Maybe not in 2026, but in next 5 years, I want hype fighting to become bigger than the UFC, and I will tell you why. The soldier is bad if he doesn't want to become a general. That's why we. This is our goal. You know, and it all depends on the contracts. If you have a big contracts with the sponsors, it already will be possible. That's why we are trying to make so much media that we can sign some big contracts,
Mhm.
make our rosters, bring all the stars, influencers, UFC stars, everybody,
Got you.
because I think we have everything that we need right now.
Absolutely. And how
Just
many how
time.
many shows are planned for 2026?
Right now, we are planning 5 stadium events in Armenia and Georgia,
Gotcha. So
and
five in
we
Armenia, five in Georgia?
no.
Five total.
I think three in Armenia. My mother is calling me.
Oh. No, it's okay. I totally understand. We're
Armenian
almost done. We're
mothers.
almost done. I hope mom's not too upset about it. But so it'll be five in total.
Yeah, five in total, and probably we will make a reality show at the end of the
Oh,
year, and the captains will shock everybody. But I cannot say it around now.
okay. I like you're leaving people on a cliffhanger. You're
The,
leaving them
the
wanting
two
more.
biggest star ever.
Okay. Don't say any more because you might end up saying what it is.
That's enough.
That's enough. That's enough. Armand, thank you. Honestly, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm so impressed with what you've been able to accomplish at your age, what you're continuing to do. Your business mind, like you don't take no for an answer. I love that you are very, very driven and you're really building something that, you're only 26. What about 10 years from now? What it's going to look like? I feel like it's very exciting to see what you're doing and specifically you were mentioning it a little bit earlier. Combat sports, especially because of the UFC and everything, there needs to be change, right? There needs to be something different, and there needs to be something that it's going to bring more audience and more fans together. And I think that's what you're doing right now.
That's all because I'm Armenian.
You got to chalk it up to being Armenian, man. I mean, before I even go, man, I know you were born in Russia, and I know there's a lot of Armenians in Russia, man. Just tell me about, what that means to you, being Armenian and representing Armenia and, growing up with the culture, just what that means to you personally.
Brother, when first time I was in Armenia, I dreamed that I will do something here. I was very, very young, but I was shocked that there's a place on the world where so much Armenians,
Hmm.
and I dreamed that I can do something here. I just wanted to put some mark on history, maybe in sport history, maybe in country history, but I wanted to make it. And that's why high fighting will be based in Armenia. I want to bring the most popular guys to Armenia. I want to show the world how beautiful my country is. That's why I make it.
That's amazing. And that's beautifully said, man. Thank you so much once again for being
Thank
on
you
the
so
talk
much.
show. I appreciate it. I hope one of these days, even though I live in the United States, one of these days I can come by and actually see the hype fighting event in person and maybe even cover it, especially with the involvement that we have with Armenian Sports News. I'm sure you know about that page too, that we've been collaborating and doing posts with you guys as well. I help with the page. I'm one of the main helpers, and the guy who started it, he's in Boston. He used to work for Bleacher Report, ESPN, all of that good stuff. We're really impressed with what you're doing, and we're excited to see what's next, man.
Thank you, brother. It was nice to meet you.